In today's exercise, I'm going to show you how to use a spin bike, okay? Now, if you see this in your cardio program, I'm just going to show you how to do the setup, and then after that, you go through the time durations that's set, okay? Now, when it comes to the spin bike, first thing you want to do is go ahead and adjust the bike according to your comfort, okay? So when it comes to the handlebars, you can adjust it forward and backwards. Same thing with your seat, you can adjust it forward and backwards, and as well of the height of the seat, okay? Because this is a big mistake I always see a lot of people do. They'll keep the seat low, jump on the bike, and then start pedaling like that, okay? And this is really bad. You don't want to do this, okay? You want to adjust the seat to a height where your legs you're able to extend the legs completely, okay? And just make sure everything is nice and tight and stable, all right? And as you can see, before I go into the height of the seat demonstration, I'm wearing cleats, okay? And it has clips at the bottom of the shoe where I can clip myself into the pedals. Now, this is I only suggest getting the spin shoes or the cleats for individuals that's doing long rides, okay? So if you're doing like hour-long rides and you see it in your program maybe like 2 or 3 times a week or something like that, you probably want to get the clips, because what the clips does is when you're pedaling, it creates you can have more force into the pedal because you're connected to the bike, right? You're completely connected, but also it relieves a lot of stress and pressure to the knees, okay? So that's why they made like the spin shoes, okay? But going into the seat height adjustment, you want to be able to, I should be able to extend my leg fully, okay? A lot of people make mistakes when they get on these bikes, okay? You should be able to extend your foot fully, and same thing on the other side, all right? And it should be just like that, okay? Now, when doing the spin bike, you do have different hand positions. You have this one, the inner, right here, here, and different bike setups has different handle positions. The handle positions is totally up to you. It's just whatever's comfortable, okay? And then you have different types of footing, okay? Or standing positions. So with the standing positions, especially if you're watching like a spin class, like if you have a bike like this with a class involved, you have the standing just like that, okay? You have the bent over stand, all right? And then one stand that I like to do is coming down, and it's like a lower stand, okay? And then you also have the seated, all right? But what I like to tell my students is when you're doing the seated when you're doing the seated and you have the tension on, and this is like mostly during the duration of the ride, is have the tension that's pretty hard, okay? And sit and push. You don't want to be riding with a very light tension and you're just going fast and you're just going like this and doing all these positions with very light tension, because you're not really working out. You're not really pushing the body. With the light tension, you're kind of just, it's like you're strolling down the park, okay? You're not gonna sweat. You're not gonna really feel a lot of tension. You're not really challenging your body. So I always say when you're doing the spin bike, you wanna put that tension up, okay? Have the tension hard. And harder it is, the longer you could go in the seated, the more I'm telling you, if you have an Apple Watch, you can check your heart rate, it's gonna skyrocket, okay? You're really working. And when you're in that seated, you're in an isolated position, so you can't cheat. You know, your legs have to put in the work. When I'm doing this spin bike and doing my cardio, I keep it just like that, and I just go, all right? I try to sit down as long as possible because I'm generating a lot of energy. It's about the wattage, not how fast you can go, all right? It's about how much energy you can create from the bike, okay? And if I want to go into other positions because I'm getting tired, then I might go up or go back or even the very low position, but I still keep that tension high, or I lighten it up just a tad bit, okay? And then when I feel a little recovered, I go right back into that seated and keep going again, okay? And that's it. And then from time to time, if you're just feeling very extreme, then stopping, then you could lighten it up to a light tension and just sit in that position for a little bit, maybe 2 minutes. I would say no longer than 5 minutes. And if you're doing that 5-minute rest, not super long, okay? You don't want to do it as often, okay? But if you're tired, this is your recovery, all right? That's when you put on that light tension. Once you get your breath together, you feel a little recover, crank it up again. And then do it again. And just try to stay focused and push hard, okay? Just like that. And what I like to do as well is with my position, I don't curl my back a lot and go like this. I try to always keep the chest up and my back straight the whole time, okay? So it won't put a lot of pressure into the lower back. And that's in all positions, all right? You see, I'm always keeping my back straight, and also I try to stay centered the whole time. Even if it's I'm not swaying, don't sway. Try to stay centered the whole time, okay? It's all about creating that wattage and keeping that centered, all right? And also try not to keep your head down. Try to keep it nice and up. Just like you're riding a real bike or you're in a race, okay? But I believe that's all the tips I really got for you when it comes down to the bike. And again, last thing I want to say is with the shoes, okay? You can see that it has a cage, okay? So if you don't have the cleats, you could just slide your feet into the cage. But when you do, make sure it's tight, okay? And then I guess the last thing I could tell y'all before I let y'all go is when you have the cleats, right? And you lock yourself in, you can see I just push in, just like that. And if you want to get yourself out, because there's two types of like clips, you want to get the one that's like for beginners. I forgot the nomenclature for it, but you could always go online and check it out. Sorry, like I know that's, I should know it, but like I just don't know the terminology of the clips. But there's two. The one I have is a more universal beginner one, because when it comes to the lock-in, and if you want to unlock, what you do is you take the heel and you push in or out, like, well, not in or out, but left to right. See? Just like that. That's how you unclip yourself, all right? Just like that. So if you get stuck, don't freak out. Just go back to your videos, scrub it a little bit, and you'll notice you just have to move the heel to the left or right and release. Because I know sometimes people get locked in, they're like, oh, I can't get out, you know? But that's it, okay? I know it's a long explanation, but that's how you use the spin bike. And remember, just look at your time on the workout program, and that's as long as you go. And always remember, try to keep the tension as high as possible, and try to stick with that high tension as long as possible, and try to stay seated, okay, throughout the duration of the rides, okay? With that said, that's it. Talk to y'all soon.